When you think about Germany within the world of film, who or what do you think of? Chances are you go straight to World War II, with films like Downfall or All Quiet on the Western Front. Thinking about gritty German war, tanks, killing people, all that kind of stuff. Loud historical followed stories. Scary stuff, right? Enter Wim Wenders. Wim was born in August 1945 in Düsseldorf, Germany, which means that Wim grew up directly in the aftermath of World War II and what the horrors of the Germans had done, even to his hometown. He grew up around rubble, angry people. Growing up in a fractured hometown gave Wim the want to explore and see what other things would lie past this rubble of what he called home. During his early years, Wim's father brought him to lots of museums and art galleries to sort of spark something in Wim's head about art and to realize that things aren't really that depressing, even though realistically you should be very down, to say the least. And at 6 years old, Wim got a camera from his parents, which at that point he just used to take photos for fun because, you couldn't really do very much with cameras back then as a 6-year-old in Germany right after World War II. Wim went on to have a fairly normal high school career, graduating in Oberlin, Germany in a school that seemingly doesn't exist anymore. Like all great artists, he dropped out of college in 1966 to move to Paris to shadow a graphic designer as well as a sculptor and engraver at the time. During his free time, Wim spent a lot of time at local movie theaters in Paris, to where he would sometimes see 5 films a day, which unlocked his sort of eye for film, and he wanted to pursue that. So he left Paris in 1967 to go back to college. More specifically, he wanted to attend the University of Film and Television in Munich, Germany, with his sights set on making his life's work within film. Wim had created various short films in college before he graduated in 1970. Upon graduating, he released his film debut with Summer in the City in the same year of 1970. I don't really have much to say about Summer in the City because I want to move on to probably Wim's most well-known piece, 14 years after 1970 and 1984, with his film Paris, Texas. Paris, Texas follows Travis, a man with amnesia who's been lost for years. Travis was seemingly found in the middle of the Mojave Desert after being missing for 4 years, to which the person who found him was somehow able to contact his brother, whose name is Walt. Walt goes to pick up Travis from the middle of nowhere, taking the painstaking drive from Nevada to go all the way to the Mojave Desert to pick up his brother who's been missing for 4 years. So they made the painstaking drive all the way back, which means he's finally reunited with his lost family. Travis reunites with his lost family, which isn't much at this point, it's really only his son. His son being adopted by Walt, the story evolves into Travis trying to kindle the broken family he had left behind with his son. Particularly, Travis really wanted to become a father figure to his son. Really, the only way that Travis was able to figure out how to become a father, since he didn't really remember anything, was he went through magazines and just tried to become the most stereotypical father he could be. While he did this, he was running away from his true self, becoming more of like a caricature of what a father should be to a nuclear family. Wenders really makes it known that we don't really know where Travis was in this 4 years, which adds to the mystery of this, with his return being sort of a second chance he gave himself to try and rebuild what he had lost. Now this is an extremely abridged version of Paris, Texas, and to really capture the emotional amplitude of this movie, you really just need to watch it yourself. To me, Paris, Texas is Travis's journey to create a nuclear family. And although you can leave, no one can really run from their problems. Cinematography-wise, Paris, Texas is a masterpiece. Great backgrounds and nature shots that really encapsulate the polarizingness of this movie where Travis was just gone for years and he just showed up in the middle of the nowhere in the desert. And the desert is a very beautiful landmark for this movie. which is highlighted by Vim doing gorgeous one-takes of just scenery. Simply just scenery, sometimes with characters in front of the scenery, but mainly just the scenery. Something I also noticed about Paris, Texas is a lot of the use of color. Travis wears a red baseball cap at the beginning of the movie, highlighting how maybe he's lost. He doesn't know where he is. And that specific use of the color red is something that follows Travis throughout the whole film. Now this may be the result of Vince Gilligan's permanent grip he had on me as a result of the colors within Breaking Bad. This could just be nothing. But I'd like to think that it's Travis's past trying to follow him throughout the film. Next up, I want to talk about one of Vim's other documentaries, Pope Francis, A Man of His Word. Initially, Vim got contacted by the Vatican to make a documentary about Pope Francis, but Vim really knew that at the beginning of this, he didn't want to make it a biography. He wanted to make it about the impact that Pope Francis had on people. The Vatican gave Vim a lot of resources to get this done, such as archival footage, 3 interviews with the Pope, as well as a hands-off approach to filming. They really just kind of let him do what he needed to do. And although this film isn't very experimental, Vim still really wanted to put a spin on this. His interview portions with the Pope, he didn't want it to make it seem like he was looking past the camera. He wanted it to be very personal. He wanted to make it seem like the Pope was talking to you. To achieve this, Vim sat behind the camera, set everything up to a way to where Pope Francis was still looking at Vim, but you can see him looking directly into the lens of the camera. A lot of this archival footage consisted of just footage of Pope Francis out, because he always was accompanied by a camera crew no matter where he was. He just always had a camera crew with him. Because Vim didn't want to make this a biography, he really wanted to highlight the impact that Pope Francis made on people. And although you may not be religious, Pope Francis still may have had an impact on you, no matter who you are. And that's what Vim wanted to really highlight about Pope Francis, is that he's not really for anyone, he's just for the people, everyone. Another thing Vim wanted to highlight was that Pope Francis really was just honest, and that he wanted to show off how he still helped people, but he was honest. He's honest with himself and how people look up to him. Another goal that Vim had for this film was that he wanted to make it for everybody, not even if you're religious or something like that. Just, he wanted to make something that showed off how Pope Francis really impacted people and made a difference in the world, even outside of religion. He wanted to honor and show off the love that Pope Francis had for everybody. Overall, Pope Francis, A Man of His Word, wasn't really experimental, but it still shows that Vim really wanted to innovate in film and bring people that make a really big difference out into the light. Not even just to inform, but ultimately to entertain. And that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Vim had a lot of projects that I didn't talk about that you may enjoy, so I'd say the only real way to show off what he's done is by going to watch his stuff. I really think that Vim has something for everybody, no matter what you like. So, you never know, there might be something you really like that he made. So, check him out. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you had some sort of takeaway from this video. Bye.